Do you want to generate free AI images that look like this or this? Then let me walk you through my new AI system I just created in n8n. The AI system uses NanoBanana, which is Google's strongest image generator, and it can actually create some really awesome ad images for your ad campaigns or brand images. Let me walk you through how it works. Alright guys, I'm really excited to show you this AI system that I built in n8n that uses NanoBanana to generate AI images. Okay, so let me just explain you first how NanoBanana works. It has two functions. The first function is that it can generate an image just based on text. So that's called text to image. Then it also has another function that it can do image editing. So that's text and image to image. So if you upload more files, like if you upload 2 or 3 images, for example, you can say create a new image based on these images. All right. So let me just walk you through the flow. The first thing we have is that we start with a form. Let me just execute the flow. So I have created a prompt and I have prepared 2 images. Let me just pull up the images. All right. So we have two hiking boots images, and I have this prompt here. All right. So we have this prompt where we're basically saying, okay, look at the 2 images of the hiking boots. Based on them, create a new premium hiking boot brand concept. Okay. So I'm going to copy this one here, and I'm going to upload I'm going to run the flow. I'm going to put in the prompt into the description. And this is basically the description that you're telling the NanoBanana to generate an image based on this description. So we have both images here. All right, now it should work. Okay, it did upload. All right, great. So I think the reason why it actually showed prohibited content was probably because it was showing maybe some bear skin or something. I don't know. But Gemini didn't allow it. Okay. So let me just walk you through the flow, what happens here. So we have the switch node. The switch node basically defines if you upload a file or not. And in this case, we uploaded a file because we wanted to do text and image to image editing, right? If you didn't choose to upload a file, it's just going to go down this route. So the way that it's set up is that it looks for if there is actually a file size. So in this case, we can see that the file size is greater than or equal to 1, which is true that we can see here. And in the other route, it says that it's empty, meaning, okay, there's no file. All right, so what happens next is that we have this function node. I created this function node called split binary files. So what we see here is that when you upload a file, it actually is a binary file within n8n. So because we uploaded an image, we will see this binary tab. Normally when you run a node, you will not see this binary tab, but because we're actually working with an image which is basically just a raw sequence of ones and zeros that a computer used to represent an image, which is called binary data. That's why we see it as binary within n8n. All right, so we have this split binary files function node. So in n8n, we can, it's a very hard word, I know. We can see that because we uploaded these 2 files, we have a tab called binary. Normally when you execute a node in n8n, it will not show a binary tab, but because we're working with binary data, this is what it outputs. So basically what this node does is that instead of getting one single item output here, we actually get 2 items. So you can see here it's actually just 1 item, but it splits it out into 2 items. And that's exactly what we want for this whole image flow to work. Because if you put it into 1 item, the post request to NanoBanana is not going to really work, and it's going to not include both images. All right. So when you're working with binary data, Binary data is basically like a really long string of data, and you don't want to process that huge amount of data or push it through an API, because the API is not going to allow such a huge request. So what you need is that you need to upload a file, and I just use the Gemini upload a file, and that's going to give you the file URIs. So as we can see here, we get two file URIs, one representing the first binary file and the other representing the other binary file. And when you have to run the HTTP module that makes a post request to NanoBanana and says, hey, create this image from the two file URIs, you first need to aggregate the two different file URIs into one item under data. So here we have it under data, we have the two file URIs, so it becomes one item. Now it's ready to go into, to be sent over to NanoBanana to actually create the image, also based on the description that we have and the two files that we uploaded. So if we show the data here, we can see a huge amount of binary data. And if you try to send this to an API like Gemini or NanoBanana, I mean, then it's not going to work. Okay, so I created this code node that actually just creates the file from the binary data that we saw before. And then it uploads it to Google Drive. Okay, and now the exciting thing is going to happen. We're going to see, okay, what did it actually create? All right. So it created, I mean, it looks super hyper-realistic. I actually like it. Summit Strider, and it didn't even spell it wrong. Normally, AI image generators are not so good at creating correct grammar on the images, but this one actually worked. So I like this, and I could actually make a hiking boot brand now. And for reference, let's look at the two images that we had before. So it actually gave him an orange coat, and actually, I think it's the exact same boots almost. All right, so that looks pretty cool. And I also created some other images here, like a wine brand. And here you can see that it made like a grammar mistake, which is normal for these AI image generator models. And also another shoe brand here, Unleash Your Impulse. I mean, it looks pretty good, I think. All right, so now we try to use the image editing, text and image to image. Now we will try to actually just generate an AI image just based on text. And I actually think let's try to use the exact same prompt that I have here, which was this prompt for the hiking boot brand. So we're going to use the exact same prompt, but without uploading any files now. So it's not going to have a reference image to reference, but it's just going to create the image based on exactly the text that we input. So if I execute the workflow here, and this time I don't upload a file, and let's just give it a title that's just like the file name of the file when you upload it into Google Drive. Hiking boot text generated image. All right, so when we submit this one, we can see here that it basically does almost the same thing. It's just more simple because you don't have more files to work with, so you don't have to upload and get the URIs and all these things. All right, so it seems to have worked. Let's go into Google Drive and see what we got here. Okay, I mean, not bad, not bad. This is just only based on the prompt that we gave it, the text. So we have this image here, and we have this image here. And I think I'm actually ready to create my own hiking boot brand called Summit Strider. That's going to be a banger. All right, that was it for this video and this automation. If you would like to get this template so you can use it in your own business or in your own use case, then I will leave a link to my Skool community where you can access this template for free and all my other future automations. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to create a lot more videos.